What's up, guys? Ian Sandusky from Lakewood Machine and Tool, back here again for Practical Machinist, continuing our coverage live from DMG Mori Technology Days here just outside of Chicago. Today we're going to be talking about the MGX30, and to help me out, I'm joined by Andy. Thank you very much for having us today.
Thanks.
Now tell us a little bit about what this machine is and what it does.
Yes, this is our universal cylindrical grinder, so it's our medium-sized unit, but high technology. It's the world premiere for our particular machine in the United States for the first time. So this is a universal machine. What that means is it can do both internal and external grinding on the same machine. This particular machine is also equipped with a chucking headstock, so you can do larger pieces with face-mounted chucks. It features a hydrostatic grinding spindle. It features roller bearings for the X-slide in and out for less slipstick, better accuracy. It also features a wheel turret B-axis infinite B, so it means you can turn the turret to any angle, minutes and seconds, and grind a taper with a straight wheel.
So that means there's essentially no hard stop on that.
Correct.
Wow.
A lot of machines like that would use a Hearth coupling and they'd lift up and they'd have 2 degrees or something like that, but this is infinite.
Wow. Now what makes this machine so different than some of the other machines that might be out there?
Well, of course it's a DMG Mori. I'd like to start with that. What makes it different is that it starts with the high-end options. We don't make machines that compete on the low end in this particular style. It's available in 24-inch between center, 40 inches, or 63 inches. It's available with a configurable wheel turret. So right now we have 2 OD spindles and 1 ID wheel, but you can configure that with any number of grinding spindles up to 3.
Right.
That makes it unique. There are very few machines in the world that let you configure the wheel turret.
That seems to kind of be a hallmark of DMG Mori machines that I keep seeing here time and time again. Although there is a model available, if you want to make it a certain way, these things can pretty much be customized.
Correct.
To your needs.
Correct.
Now what are we looking at here? That looks like an HSK tool holder in that chuck.
Yep, that's the example we're running. So we're doing just ID grinding right there. Go back, the machine's going to index here.
Jeez.
We're going to probe the end of the part. These machines, you can move the headstock left and right, so this is how the machine knows where the reference point is for the Z. They'll come in, probe the end of the part right now.
And I have a feeling that if you program it in there, it will probe, find out where it is, and if it needs to adjust it, it will automatically adjust it in the controller.
Shift the program 0 automatically, correct.
That's insane.
Yep. So now it's going to index to an OD wheel. First thing it'll do is go back to the dresser, so it has single point diamond dressing system located on the back of the headstock.
Okay.
So it trues the wheel.
So that's moving that out of the way right now.
Yes. And then it's going to come back and grind the body of the flange for the HSK holder.
And how does it check that wheel? Is there a laser or something in there, or it's just straight?
It doesn't. And all machines like this, when you use a dressing device and it trues the diamond or dressing device, trues the wheel, it automatically qualifies the wheel for size.
Right, that makes sense.
Yep.
I know a little bit about grinding, but mostly surface grinders, so this is kind of outside my realm of expertise.
Gotcha. So here we ground the body diameter. We moved over. We're going to grind the HSK. It's going to shift over, move to a taper. We'll grind the HSK taper.
So that's using the same wheel, and it's just indexing the angle a little bit.
Infinite B-axis. It's able to move to the exact angle of the HSK.
And of course, it looks like you have lots of coolant coverage on there, which you would have if this wasn't just a demo, so we can see what's going on.
Yes, correct. You would never be able to see what was going on if we ran the coolant.
We'd just be full.
Right. Exactly right.
Now that center that's on the other side there, essentially, like you said, because it's a chucking, that is optimized for either kind of puck style work, but you could do shafts in here if you wanted as well.
Yeah, underneath the chuck is a taper inside the spindle, a Morse taper. So these machines operate on dead center mode. So there'll be a Morse taper on one side, a Morse taper on the other side for shaft grinding.
And that's going to do the OD there now.
ID, yes.
Sorry, ID.
Yep.
Did I say OD? I meant ID.
Grinding the ID. You have a choice of 3 different RPM spindles, 30,000, 45,000, or 75,000 RPM spindles. You can grind the bore sizes down to around 6 millimeter.
Now, for those who don't know, including myself, with those higher speed spindles, is that for doing smaller stuff, or where do you want to use those higher speed spindles?
Well, it's all dictated by surface feet per minute. So most conventional abrasive wheels want to go 6,000 surface feet per minute. And in order to get that surface footage for a small hole, the wheel has to go very fast.
Really.
Once you get down to about under a 3/8 size hole, and and below, you would need 75,000 RPM to maintain the proper surface
So
footage.
what's the smallest hole that you could reasonably ID grind with a setup like this?
Right around 5 millimeter.
5 millimeters.
Yep.
That is a tiny, tiny
Small
little
hole.
grinding height.
And beyond that, you would need we make other machines that have 90,000 or 120,000 RPM.
That's absolutely insane. Now, what kind of parts do you see customers doing with this? Obviously, tool holders is a great example because they are high precision, need to be ground. What are the kind of parts are people doing on these machines consistently?
Yeah, so with universal machines, compared to single-purpose machines, straight OD or just ID grinding machines, they have a lot of extra movement time for indexing and other things like that.
Right.
So they're not generally chosen for high production because there's too much dead time in the indexing. So in this particular case, these are for small to medium batches, up to maybe 500 pieces or so, and for parts that need more than one operation or combined operations for internal, external, or for customers that have multiple types of jobs. If you have between centers work, you can use the machine only for that. If you have only chucking work, you can use it only for that. And of course, if you need both operations the same part, it can also be used for that. So a universal is just that. It's a very popular machine for companies that make their own parts, for job shops,
Yep.
generally small to medium production.
Right. This is absolutely insane. And this is out of, where's this one coming out of?
This is coming out of our factory in Japan, Nagaoka, Japan.
Wow.
And on the programming side, we have our new Silos control.
And this is newly released this year as well.
It is.
Not? Yes.
Yep. So this is all meant, as most of our machines are, to be conversational programming. So nobody's writing any G code. You're inputting all of your parameters into the control, describing your size, describing your geometry, and when you're done, the conversational software writes the post. You're not working with CAD CAM or Gibbs CAM or Esprit or anything like that. It's all done on the control.
And the advantage to that is you're spending a lot less time taking thing from one, putting it in another, troubleshooting it. Oh, my post isn't right. It's all being done right here. So it just goes here, feed straight in, you're making parts.
Absolutely correct, and it's being driven by the current market conditions where having an operator to be able to have the skill level to do the programming aspect is not a realistic expectation. You want somebody you can give a drawing to, he can read the drawing and input dimensions and not have to have G-code programming or grinding experience.
How long, roughly, I know people are going to vary person to person, but let's say that I came off the street, I'm a pretty normal operator, little bit of experience. How long would it take someone to get comfortable with a controller like this?
It's regularly for us, it would happen that we'd install a new machine, and I want to say 25% of our customers are not CNC. We are still taking people off older manual machines and having them run a machine like this, but the secret is to have software that's easy enough to be able to use part drawings, because all the operators, even the old ones running manual machines, know that. They know what dimensions to pick, and they can put them right in the control. And the control gives you default settings for grind feed rates, oscillations. They don't have to calculate that.
Taking decisions out of the decision.
Exactly.
And what's different, because I know this is a newly released controller, what's different with this controller compared to the old version?
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah, we have other machines. We have some machines that use our old map software, got converted to grinding. It's conversational, but the ability to have a touch screen and be able to manipulate parameters more in a Windows environment is a big change.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, this is a very exciting machine. I've seen some grinders like this, but never with this many wheels, this many options, and this level of customization. If people want to find out more about this machine and all the grinding machines that DMG Mori offers, where should they go?
DMGMori.com.
Thank you very much for joining us.
All right, thank you.
And of course, guys, make sure DMG Mori Technology Days are going to be open all the way through the week until Thursday. So if you're attending any show in Chicago, make sure you stop by and see what's happening here. Thank you very much for watching, guys. You take